The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, December 24, reveal that Jack Abbott will have a Christmas present for Kyle Abbott. There will be something special that Jack wants to pass along, so it might be a sentimental family heirloom. Then again, perhaps it'll be something for Kyle's office now that he's resuming his role as Jack's co-CEO. Whatever the case, the real gift for Kyle and Jack will be the progress they've made in their relationship. Things aren't perfect between them, but Y and R fans know Jack and Kyle have come a long way. It'll be nice to see some father-son bonding as Kyle accepts Jack's present and voices his gratitude. Meanwhile, Diane Jenkins Abbott will surprise Ashley Abbott and Tracy Abbott by making a true effort to apologize. Although Jack and Diane still believe their extreme deception was warranted, they're both sorry for any family drama they caused with their actions. A remorseful Diane will hope to make this right as she goes out for drinks with Tracy and Ashley. There will be some awkwardness at first, but Diane will ease the tension with a toast. Ashley and Tracy may be taken aback by how much they actually enjoy spending the evening with Diane. Over with Phyllis Summers, she'll most likely blast Sharon Newman for her new claims at the cottage. Although Sharon will mention what she remembered in Hypnosis and point the finger at a gloved intruder, Phyllis may accuse her of making all this up. If Phyllis acts like Sharon is lying to stay out of prison, Nick Newman may finally just have to kick her out. There's no way Nick will stand by and let Phyllis continue to slam Sharon for something she didn't do. Sharon will ultimately get back to her holiday celebration with Nick, Mariah Copeland, Tessa Porter, and Faith Newman, so they'll belt out a tune after Phyllis' interruption. Later, Phyllis will spread some Christmas joy, so she may come bearing gifts at Daniel Romalotti Jr.'s apartment. Of course, Phyllis may also give Daniel and Lucy Romalotti updates on Sharon's shocking news, so our predictions point to some big reactions. The Young and the Restless spoilers say it'll take some work to prove Sharon's innocence, but Nick will remain committed to pulling it off. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless has dropped a new preview video for the upcoming week. Fans can expect to see Christmas spirits spreading through the town. Diane bonds with Jack's sisters, while Victor shares a sweet moment with Nikki. Also, watch out for Phyllis clashing with Lauren and Michael over their involvement with Sharon. Diane enjoys family time, Victor and Nikki kiss. Christmas is making its presence felt in GC in the upcoming episodes. The week of December 23 to 27 sees Diane spending some quality time with Ashley Abbott and Tracy Abbott. So it seems that Jack's sisters are finally warming up to her. She'll also raise a toast at society to celebrate the Abbott spirit of always rising above their troubles. The Young and the Restless preview video shows Victor Newman and Nikki Newman sharing a cute moment. However, Claire Grace and Cole Howard catch them in a lip lock. Claire teases her grandparents that they don't even need a mistletoe to start kissing. It's always nice to see Victor's gentler side. Phyllis and Lauren clash, Sharon bonds with Nick. Across town, Phyllis has a huge clash with Lauren Fenmore. Red goes on and on about how Michael Baldwin has betrayed her by taking up Sharon Newman as his client. Lauren eventually loses her client and gives Phyllis a piece of her mind. Red also learns that some new memories have surfaced for Sharon after the hypnosis. But will she accept this turn of events? Will Phyllis be willing to see that Sharon could be innocent after all? Despite the building pressure, Sharon Newman manages to put the stressful trial out of her mind and lets the Christmas spirit to take over. The video shows her singing Christmas carols with Nick Newman, Faith, Mariah, and Tessa at the cottage. The spoilers suggest that Sharon will have a blast, but their family time may get interrupted by Ian and Jordan's sinister schemes. The Young and the Restless spoilers for December 23 to 27 focus on the true reason for this season. Yes, some of Genoa City's residents celebrate Christmas while others do their business. For example, Nate and Audra are in Los Angeles, where there's not a speck of snow in sight. They're on the hunt for Damien. Heads up, on Christmas Day, a classic episode instead of a brand new I and R. Here's what you need to know. Christmas with the Newmans. This week on My and R, Victor reminds his loved ones about the true meaning of Christmas. He'll probably say that family is what the holidays are all about. Sometimes, his version of family is a little twisted. Much of the time, the implication is that when he says family, he means as long as they do what he says when he says it and how he says it. However, Victor does something quite surprising. He gives Victoria and Cole his blessing. This is unexpected, considering he has been anti-Cole since he helped Michael usher Jordan from his private jail cell to an actual prison. Let's see what Victor thinks when he finds out that Ian sprung Jordan from prison, and she's back in Genoa City, and they've teamed up. A very Abbott Christmas. The Abbotts should feel lucky they made it to Christmas with their family intact. Not too long ago, it didn't seem like it would happen. Jack is in a giving mood as far as Kyle is concerned. Look for the father to give his son a special gift. It's not enough that Kyle got his old co-CEO job back, what does Jack give him now? Meanwhile, Diane is tired of the world coming down on her. It's gotten so bad that Esther was nice to her. She even offered her Catherine Chancellor's words of wisdom. But now for Christmas, if she can't finally get true forgiveness from her son, she's going to try something else. Diane wants to make amends with Jack's sisters, Ashley and Tracy. Good luck getting Ashley's forgiveness, Diane. You'll need it. Odds and ends. Nate and Audra search for Damien. Nate is super close to finding his half-brother. He, Audra, and Amy jetted off to LA to the address Denise, the private detective, gave them. Is it going to be that easy? Or are Team Nate and Audra going to have to work their butts off to find him? Billy is desperately searching for an ally in his war against Victor. And he knows Phyllis is his best bet despite having turned down his invitations previously. She claims she's doing it because her kids wouldn't want her to hop on Billy's bandwagon. However, you know she wants to. It's inevitable. When Billy presents Phyllis with a tempting offer, will she finally accept? At the end of the week, Chelsea shares disturbing news with Adam. What's happening here since we've barely seen Chelsea or Adam lately? Does this have anything to do with Ian, who's returned to wreak major havoc and disaster for the GC residents? Shadows of deception. Unraveling the threads in Genoa City. The festive lights of Genoa City sparkled against the winter night, casting a warm glow over the Abbott mansion. Inside, the air was filled with laughter and the clinking of glasses as the family celebrated their hard-earned unity. Yet, beneath the surface of this seemingly perfect evening, dark clouds loomed, threatening to shatter the fragile peace. A nightmarish encounter. Sharon Newman sat by the fireplace, a glass of champagne in hand, reflecting on the year's tumultuous events. Her mind, however, was troubled by recurring dreams of Heather Stevens, her childhood friend turned bitter rival. In these dreams, Heather's face twisted with malice, warning Sharon of impending danger. Tonight, the dreams felt more vivid, more real than ever before. As Sharon prepared to retire for the night, a sudden crash echoed through the mansion. Moments later, she felt a sharp pain in her head, and everything went black. When she awoke, she found herself lying on the floor of her bedroom, disoriented and bruised. The room bore no signs of a struggle, and there were no fingerprints or evidence left behind, only the lingering fear that someone had deliberately targeted her. Seeking allies, a race against time. Determined to uncover the truth behind her attack, Sharon reached out to her closest allies, Nick Newman and Chance Chancellor. The three gathered in Sharon's elegantly decorated living room, the warmth of the Christmas decorations contrasting sharply with the gravity of their discussion. Nick, Chance, Sharon began, her voice shaky but resolute. I was attacked last night. Someone targeted me deliberately, I can't remember much, but I have this recurring dream about Heather. I think there's more to it." Nick leaned forward, concern etched on his face. "Sharon, are you okay? Do you think this is connected to anything Victor has been up to lately?" Chance nodded thoughtfully. Victor has always had his hands in dark places. If he's involved, we need to be cautious. But first, we need to find out who did this. Sharon took a deep breath. "There's something else. I was hypnotized before the attack. I don't know how, but I think Victor might be after that information." Phyllis's quest for truth. Meanwhile, across town, Phyllis Summers was grappling with her own demons. Lauren Fenmore had revealed a shocking truth about Alan, a man with the uncanny ability to unlock hidden memories through hypnosis. According to Lauren, Alan had uncovered evidence implicating Sharon in a crime she didn't commit. Blinded by her long-standing hatred for Sharon, Phyllis was determined to expose her. Her obsession led her to delve deeper into the past, scouring old police reports and confronting anyone who had ever been close to Sharon. Her search was relentless, driven by a desire for vengeance rather than justice. However, the more she dug, the more she found inconsistencies in the allegations against Sharon. Conflicted, Phyllis began to question whether her hatred was blinding her to the truth. Ian Ward's devious plan. In the shadows, Ian Ward observed the chaos unfolding with sinister satisfaction. Tessa Porter, unaware of the peril she was in, had recently flaunted her happiness on social media, sharing a picture of her daughter Aria with a beaming smile. Ian saw this as an opportunity to strike again, driven by his vendetta against Mariah Copeland. One evening, Tessa encountered Ian at a local cafe. Without disguises, Ian approached her, his demeanor calm, but his intentions dark. "Tessa, it's been a while. How are you?" he asked, forcing a friendly smile. Caught off guard, Tessa hesitated before responding. "I'm good, Ian. Just enjoying some time with Aria." Ian's eyes narrowed as he glanced at the photo Tessa had shared online. "She's a beautiful child, truly blessed to have such a happy family." Unsettled by his familiarity, Tessa tried to brush off the conversation. "Thank you, Ian. We've worked hard to get here." But Ian was not convinced by her facade. He had no intention of letting her happiness continue unchallenged. His plan was meticulous: manipulate those around Tessa and Mariah to ensure their downfall, all while remaining undetected. The web tightens. Back at the Newman household, Sharon, Nick, and Chance began piecing together the fragments of her fragmented memory. They suspected that Victor Newman was orchestrating these attacks to destabilize Sharon and assert his dominance over Genoa City. "Victor has always thrived on chaos," Chance remarked. "If he's behind this, he'll stop at nothing to achieve his goals." Nick frowned, determination flashing in his eyes. "We need to gather evidence. If Victor is involved, we need to expose him before he takes things too far." Sharon, still shaken, nodded. "I remember something about gloves. He was wearing gloves during the attack. It was deliberate, meant to leave no trace." The trio decided to enlist the help of a renowned detective who specialized in psychological profiling and hypnosis. Together, they hoped to uncover the truth behind Sharon's attack and prevent any further harm. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, December 23 promise some explosive moments as the soap kicks off another week in Genoa City. Next on Young and the Restless. Someone's secret gets leaked, while two friends have a massive face-off and a family enjoys the holidays. What kind of drama is set to unravel on Monday? Time to dive right in. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Michael Baldwin confides in his wife. Y and R spoilers for Monday, December 23 note that Michael Baldwin will have a nice dinner out with Lauren Baldwin at Society, as he decompresses over the recent revelations surrounding Sharon Newman's case. As fans know, Sharon's 2 hypnosis sessions revealed her innocence surrounding not only Phyllis Summers' car collision, but also Heather Stevens' demise. Still, as Michael pointed out during the Friday, December 20 show, the hypnosis sessions may not be able to stand alone in a court of law, so he let Sharon and Nick know that they also need some evidence to back this all up. Sounds like, as Michael is confiding in Lauren, Phyllis could overhear all this and explode. Y&R spoilers. Lauren Fenmore versus Phyllis Summers. As such, Y&R spoilers for Monday, December 23 suggest a major face-off between Lauren and Phyllis. Red has gone into a tirade recently when it comes to her besties, the Baldwins, and if she hears Michael talk about Sharon's innocence, this could trigger her. But getting in Michael's face will trigger his wife, and from the looks of it, Phyllis and Lauren will have a major confrontation as Red spews more words of her besties betraying her and Miss Baldwin defends her husband's actions. Y&R spoilers. Sharon Newman enjoys holiday family time. Lastly, Y&R spoilers for Monday hint that Nick will try to get Sharon's mind off her case to enjoy some holiday fun. After all, the good news is that she didn't try and hit Phyllis with her car or murder Heather for that matter, so there are some things to celebrate this season. Sounds like Nick will gather the girls, Mariah Copeland, Tessa Porter, and Faith Newman, to help get Sharon into the Christmas spirit. The Y&R preview for the week of December 23 to 27 shows Nick, Sharon, Tessa, Mariah, and Faith singing a Christmas song together, so fans should gear up for some feel-good moments up ahead. Considering the year Sharon has had, she deserves it. Are you excited about Monday's show? Comment below. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, December 23, 2024, are here. Fans can expect Lauren Fenmore Baldwin to snap at Phyllis Summers. Coming up on The Young and the Restless. However, Lauren might also say a bit too much, which could further complicate Michael Baldwin's case. Meanwhile, Sharon Newman will be on a quest to find out the truth. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the next episode of the CBS soap opera. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Michael Baldwin's legal complication. Y&R spoilers for Monday, December 23 reveal that Michael will go out to dinner with Lauren. While they will be enjoying their time together, Michael will have a lot on his mind. Michael's mind is reeling after the bombshells unveiled during Sharon's hypnosis. Sharon is starting to remember a lot and now realizes there was someone else in the penthouse when Heather Stevens died. There is also the tainted medication, which further supports that someone is targeting Sharon. So Michael's mind will be scrambling trying to figure this all out. Y&R spoilers. Phyllis Summers ambush. On Monday, December 23, fans will see Phyllis confront Lauren and Michael once again. While they are having dinner, Phyllis stomps up to the table to yell at them some more. Lauren finally loses her temper. Lauren tells Phyllis that they will always love her, but there are facts about Sharon's case that she doesn't know. That is when Phyllis demands to know what facts she isn't aware of. No matter what evidence there is, nothing will ever change Phyllis' mind about this. There are some details about the case that Michael can't legally tell Phyllis. However, those same details Lauren might know simply because she's Michael's wife. So Phyllis might be missing a lot of critical information, but she's also not a lawyer or police officer, so she's really not owed any answers right now. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Monday, December 23, 2024. On Monday, December 23, fans will see Sharon want to dig more for answers. However, Nick Newman might insist that Sharon focus on lighter things with the holidays upon them. At one point, Sharon and Nick do enjoy singing Christmas carols with Faith Newman, Mariah Copeland, and Tessa Porter. This could be the calm before the final storm, though. So stay tuned to see what Jordan and Ian Ward do next. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Monday, December 23, 2024? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. The Young and the Restless scoop for Monday, December 23 reveals Phyllis Summers will confront Sharon Newman on Christmas Eve. Also coming up, Claire Newman and Cole Howard will spend Christmas Eve with Nikki Newman and Victor Newman. Plus, Mariah Copeland and Faith Newman will be relieved, and Michael Baldwin will spill. Y and R spoilers tease Claire and Cole will show up at the ranch. Victor will make a toast to her first Christmas as a member of the Newman family. Cole will say this holiday hasn't meant much to him before, but now that he has his beautiful daughter to spend it with, it means so much. You are the brightest light in my life, he'll say. I and our Daily Scoop, Victor welcomes Cole to the Newman family. Claire will say she finally has a home and a family that loves her. I've waited for this my whole life. Then she'll give Nikki and Victor a present. It's a portrait she commissioned of all of them. Of course, Nikki will love it. Victor will ask to talk to Cole alone. He'll say he can't deny that he's a very good father to Claire. I've decided I won't stand in the way of any future relationship with my daughter, he'll add. The mustache will also tell him he's also over his anger. So, welcome to the family, he'll tell Cole as he shakes his hand. Meanwhile, Michael will tell Lauren Fenmore there was someone else in the apartment the night Heather Stevens died. We're going to switch this investigation to the real killer, he'll tell his wife. The real killer? Phyllis will say, as she approaches their table. What's that supposed to mean? Lauren will say they don't want to fight with her, but Phyllis will say she's tired of everyone making excuses for Sharon. You're implying it's somebody else, but it's not. Sharon is the killer. As she continues to rant and rave, Michael will tell her to let the authorities do their jobs. What have you come up with now? Phyllis will say. We know the truth. Sharon killed Heather. She framed my son. She ran me off the road. But Michael will say some of that is debatable. Sharon is my family's enemy and you're defending her, Phyllis will reply. Lauren will say there are things about Sharon's case she doesn't know about, so Phyllis will insist they tell her. Young and the Restless scoop, Mariah and Faith thrilled by the news. There is new evidence that calls into question everything we thought we knew about this case, Michael will say. He'll add that the police may be providing protection for Daniel Rumalotti soon. When the new evidence comes out, you will regret your actions, Michael will add as Phyllis storms off. At Sharon's place, she'll tell Mariah and Faith that she had a huge breakthrough during her hypnosis. I don't think I killed Heather, she'll say. There was someone else in the apartment, and Mariah and Faith will be thrilled. You're not a murderer, a relieved Faith will say. Mom, Mariah will add. Talk about a Christmas miracle. They'll discuss alerting Daniel to the possible danger, but Nick will say they should let Phyllis, Daniel, and Lucy Rumalotti have Christmas Eve to themselves, without any additional pain or conflict. Then Sharon will realize she's done nothing for Christmas. So Maria and Faith will bring the holiday decorations downstairs, and Nick will walk in with a tree. Tessa Porter will arrive and say she can't wait for Aria to see this tomorrow. Finally, there will be a knock on the door. When Nick opens it, Phyllis will be standing there. Of course you're here, she'll say to him, rolling her eyes. Then she'll confront Sharon. I just saw Michael. He said there's new information in the investigation into Heather's death, Phyllis will say. What the hell are you up to? Then Phyllis will look around and tell Sharon it looks so nice in the cottage. But she doesn't deserve it. She should be in a prison cell. I was wrong. I'm not guilty. I didn't murder anyone, Sharon will tell her. Somebody else killed Heather. But will Phyllis believe her? The dimly lit room was heavy with tension, the faint hum of the hypnotist's voice guiding Sharon deeper into her mind, where buried memories lay waiting to resurface. She had spent weeks tormented by fragments of a past she couldn't fully recall. The only way to clear her name and prove she hadn't killed Heather was to uncover the truth hidden in her subconscious. Alan, the renowned hypnotist, had carefully prepared Sharon for this moment. His soothing tone coaxed her closer to the pivotal memory. Her breathing slowed, her eyelids fluttered, and then it happened. In her mind, the image became clearer. She was there, back in the room where it all happened. The dim outline of a figure loomed in the shadows. A sudden jolt of fear surged through her as she remembered the searing pain of being struck from behind. But now, under hypnosis, she had the chance to see who had attacked her. Sharon's voice trembled as she spoke. Someone was there. Their hand, it was on my shoulder. Alan urged her gently. Focus, Sharon. Look at their face. She turned slowly in her memory, her mind's eye sharpening the features of the assailant. Her heart raced. She was on the brink of revelation when the door to the room burst open with a deafening crash. Phyllis stormed in, her voice cutting through the fragile moment like a blade. This is ridiculous. Stop this right now, she shouted. Startled, Sharon snapped out of her trance, the delicate thread of memory unraveling instantly. No, she cried, her hands clenching the armrests of the chair. I was so close. Phyllis's intrusion shattered the atmosphere. Alan's calm demeanor cracked slightly as he turned to Nick, anger flashing in his eyes. She's lost it, Alan said, frustrated. The memory is gone. A memory lost, a question unanswered. Sharon's hands trembled as she sat upright, trying to cling to the pieces of what she had seen. The sensation of the hand on her shoulder lingered, a strong grip, firm yet somehow cold. She had been so close to seeing the attacker's face, so close to the answers that had eluded her for weeks. Why would you do this, Phyllis? Nick demanded, his voice rising. He stepped between her and Sharon, his anger palpable. She was about to remember. Do you even care? Phyllis folded her arms, her face defiant but tinged with guilt. This whole thing is insane, Nick. She's manipulating you, making you believe her lies. It's not a lie, Sharon shouted, standing up, her voice cracking with desperation. I didn't kill Heather, and I can prove it. Someone took that memory from me, and now it's gone because of you. Nick's patience snapped. Get out, Phyllis, he said, his voice low and firm. Now. Phyllis hesitated, but the fire in Nick's eyes left no room for argument. She stormed out, slamming the door behind her, her muffled protests echoing in the hallway. Nick turned and locked the door. Let's try again, he said to Alan. But Alan shook his head. Not now, he said gravely. The interruption was too jarring. Her mind won't settle back into the trance state tonight. The shadow of the unknown. Sharon sank back into the chair, tears brimming in her eyes. The frustration was unbearable. I was there, she whispered, her voice hollow. I saw his hand. I could feel his presence. Why would he do this? Why would someone take my memory of that night? Nick knelt in front of her, gripping her hands tightly. We'll figure it out, he promised. You're not alone in this. But Sharon's mind was spinning. The man who attacked her, who was he? And why did he go to such lengths to erase her memory of that night? Her fragmented recollections were riddled with questions that only deepened the mystery. How had he managed to take her memory? Was it some kind of drug, or did he possess a skill far beyond her understanding? And why Heather? The night Heather was killed was a blur, but Sharon was certain she had seen something, or someone, that could explain it all. This wasn't just about clearing her name. There was a larger, darker truth at play, and she was caught in the middle of it. In a stunning twist, The Young and the Restless introduces a storyline that uncovers buried truths about Nate Hastings' family, throwing his world into turmoil. The revelation that Damien, Nate's long-lost twin brother, has been alive all these years is shocking enough. But the dark role Amy played in this deception adds layers of heartbreak and betrayal to an already complex narrative. The hidden truth about Nate's family. For years, Nate believed he was an only child, never suspecting the grief his mother carried. She once told him his birth should have been a day of double joy. She had delivered twin boys. Tragically, she was informed that one of the twins had not survived. However, this was a cruel fabrication. Nate's twin, Damien, was stolen at birth, leaving a wound in their family that never truly healed. Amy, a trusted family friend, turns out to be at the heart of this deception. On the day of Nate and Damien's birth, Amy orchestrated a scheme to take Damian for herself, fabricating his death and vanishing with the newborn. Whether driven by jealousy, loneliness, or an insidious sense of entitlement, her actions were devastating. This betrayal robbed Nate's mother of her child and separated two brothers who should have grown up together. Damian's discovery and reunion. Years later, a chance encounter with Damian, a man bearing an uncanny resemblance to Nate, sets the stage for the truth to come out. Raised under a different name and unaware of his true origins, Damian has always felt a sense of disconnection. DNA tests confirm their bond, and the revelation shocks them both. Damian grapples with the discovery that Amy, the woman he believed to be his mother, is actually his kidnapper. As the brothers begin to piece together their shared history, the emotional toll is immense. Damian, shaped by Amy's manipulative influence, struggles to reconcile the mother he knew with the truth of her actions. Meanwhile, Nate feels the weight of his mother's grief and the injustice that tore their family apart. Amy's web of lies unravels. Faced with undeniable evidence, Amy attempts to muddy the waters, claiming the two are only half-brothers. However, her desperate lies crumble in the face of irrefutable DNA results. As her manipulative nature comes to light, Amy's reign of deceit comes to an end. The brothers are united in their determination to hold her accountable, ensuring she answers to the law for the pain she's caused. The path to healing. Despite the betrayal, Nate and Damian are committed to forging the bond stolen from them. For Nate's mother, the discovery of Damian brings bittersweet joy, a chance to reunite with her son, but also a painful reminder of the years lost. The brothers vow to rebuild their relationship, finding strength in their shared determination to overcome the past. Meanwhile, Amy faces the consequences of her actions. Whether she truly comprehends the damage she caused remains unclear, but her attempts to escape accountability are futile. Her story serves as a cautionary tale about the consequences of deceit. Moving forward, the reappearance of Damian marks a turning point in Genoa City. While his arrival disrupts Nate's life, it also offers hope for a brighter future. Together, the brothers navigate their shared trauma, reclaiming the connection that was taken from them. The storyline is a powerful reminder of the strength of family bonds, the enduring impact of truth, and the resilience needed to overcome even the deepest wounds. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Chelsea Lawson will give Adam Newman some important updates, but they won't be what he wants to hear. On December 27, Chelsea will deliver some alarming news to Adam, so a scary crisis is on the way. There's no confirmation yet on what'll be so unsettling, but there are some options to mull over. It's possible this will be related to all the Jordan and Ian Ward drama, but we'd say the crisis might be a bit more personal instead. Although Connor Newman has been doing well when it comes to managing his OCD, setbacks are always possible. Connor is still young and figuring things out when it comes to his treatment, so there might be some trouble ahead. It's easy to imagine Connor feeling overwhelmed due to the holidays and too many changes in his routine. There could also be something specific that triggers Connor and launches a meltdown that Chelsea isn't sure how to handle. Connor might even take off without warning and leave Chelsea worried about where he went, especially in such an emotional state. Chelsea might have to send Adam an SOS and get some parental backup. Whatever the case, Lie and our spoilers say Chelsea will sound the alarm to Adam and no doubt get some help. Adam may come to Chelsea's rescue and once again prove they make a great team when it really counts. Of course, this could lead to Adam making a suggestion that Chelsea finds tempting. Since Victor Newman offered to let Adam live in the old ranch house, Adam might want Chelsea and Connor to move in with him there. Chelsea just might go along with the idea if she thinks it'll help Connor to live with both his parents. A setback for Connor could certainly set something like that in motion, so stick with us for more predictions on his family's living arrangements. Regardless, the young and the restless spoilers say Chelsea will spill something disturbing to Adam and get some support, so stay tuned. We'll have other exciting young and the restless spoilers, predictions, updates, and news, so make us your go-to Y&R source. The young and the restless spoilers reveal that Billy Abbott and Sally Spectra have been growing closer lately, so we have to consider whether they have a real future together. Sally and Billy haven't rushed into anything serious yet, but they certainly enjoy each other's company. Although Phyllis Summers could cause some obstacles along the way, there's no denying that Billy and Sally have a spark. At some point, Billy just might decide to take a big step with Sally by inviting her on a romantic trip. On Instagram, Y&R's Courtney Hope recently shared some behind-the-scenes content that grabbed fans' attention. There was one photo in particular that was intriguing since Hope could be seen sitting on Ashley Abbott's Paris apartment set. Of course, it's possible Hope just wandered over to a set that wasn't being used while she was waiting to film elsewhere. Hope was reading a script and prepping for her scenes in the pic, so it's tough to know for sure whether she was actually filming there. However, we should at least consider the possibility that Sally has scenes that haven't aired yet in Ashley's Paris apartment. If so, then maybe Billy will get Ashley to let him borrow it for a little Parisian adventure with Sally. Billy is a spontaneous guy, so we could certainly imagine him borrowing the Jabat jet as well and whisking Sally off to Paris for the weekend. Perhaps there could be some special occasion, or maybe Billy could just decide to treat Sally to a romantic getaway. Whatever the case, it would make sense for Billy to invite Sally to stay at Ashley's place, which is quite posh and more private than a hotel. Sally and Billy would have their own little romantic cocoon to enjoy, so we'll bring you updates if any other news surfaces on this possibility. Do you think Courtney Hope was leaking a clue about Sally and Billy's romantic trip? Would you like to see Billy fly Sally to Paris so they can grow even closer there? The young and the restless spoilers say Sally and Billy could deepen their romance in the new year, so stick with us for more predictions on their next chapter. The young and the restless spoilers tease that the holiday season in Genoa City is getting a lot brighter. The residents of Genoa City embrace their jolly spirits to make the most of this Xmas season. Everyone is dressed to the nines to either enjoy a home celebration or hit the lounge to shake their legs. However, our favorite characters are in for wild surprises, especially as the clock ticks closer to 2025. Check out the photo session below. The young and the restless spoilers. Genoa City's NYE party teases big reveals. The young and the restless spoilers have dropped a series of dazzling snaps of Genoa City folks. Let's start with Victor and Nikki Newman, who turn heads with their classic charm and undeniable chemistry. The OG couple is standing by the embellished Christmas tree. Moreover, Jack and Diane Jenkins Abbott don real swanky outfits under the same roof. However, Devin and Abby steal the show with their complimentary indigo outfits. While some residents indulge in cozy celebrations, others are stepping out to party hard. It looks like a glitzy New Year's bash at the GCAC Jazz Lounge is what everyone needs. But what's a party without a real rock star? Christine and Danny look adorable, flashing the brightest smiles by a Happy New Year sign. Moreover, Michael and Lauren are giving power couple vibes with Mariah and Tessa radiating cuteness. But let's not be fooled by all the glitz and glamour. Phyllis posing alongside her adult kids, Summer and Daniel, hint at some upcoming drama. The trio indeed looks very sus. What could be the reason? Ian and Jordan to hijack New Year's Eve? Maybe Phyllis can't stand Christine and Danny due to her rocky history with them. Well, the same goes for Michael and Lauren. Is the event heading for a juicy confrontation? We hope not. Across the town, Ian Ward and Jordan are marching towards their goal while staying low-key. According to Y&R spoilers, the dangerous duo has something planned for New Year's Eve. Could it be a kidnapping or a fatal stunt as the clock strikes midnight? Additionally, their sinister plans could sabotage the entire celebration, leaving everyone startled as 2025 begins. After all, Sharon's inching closer to the truth leaves Ian and Jordan short on time and options. Will the troublesome pair cause fireworks or quietly fade into the shadows? Drop your thoughts below. The streets of Los Angeles buzzed with life as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the city. Nate sat in the driver's seat of a rented car, staring at the address Anais had scribbled down for him and Amy. It wasn't much to go on, just a name, Damien, and a possible location. Flimsy at best, but for Nate, it represented something he had longed for. A connection, a family, an end to the loneliness that had plagued him for years. Beside him, Amy adjusted her seatbelt and flashed him a reassuring smile. "This is it, Nate. I can feel it. We're going to find him." Nate nodded, but his chest felt heavy with doubt. Audra's words echoed in his mind. "You can't trust her. She's using you." It wasn't the first time Audra had voiced her concerns about Amy, but Nate had dismissed them. Amy had sparked this search, seemed as eager as he was to find Damien. How could that be a lie? But Audra wasn't one to speak without reason. Her warnings had grown more urgent as the search progressed, her suspicions about Amy's motives clear. Nate had brushed them off, but now, parked outside a rundown apartment building in Leh, he couldn't shake the gnawing feeling that maybe Audra had been right. Denise's role. Denise's involvement had been critical. She had provided the lead, though she was quick to admit it was unverified. "I don't know for sure if it's him," she had said over the phone. "It could just be someone with the same name. But it's worth checking out, isn't it?" Denise's tone had been cautious, almost reluctant, and Nate wondered if she, too, doubted Amy's sincerity. If this lead turned out to be false, or worse, a deliberate fabrication, what would Denise do? Nate sighed, pulling himself out of his thoughts. If Damien wasn't here, it would be another dead end, but at least he would know. He couldn't let fear or Audra's warnings keep him from trying. The plan. Inside the apartment building, Nate and Amy followed the numbers scrawled on Denise's note. Each step up the creaking stairs felt heavier than the last, as if the weight of his hopes and fears pressed down on him. Amy led the way, her energy almost infectious, but Nate couldn't ignore the unease creeping into his chest. When they reached the door, Amy hesitated, then knocked. The silence that followed was deafening. A moment later, it swung open. A man stood there, his face shadowed by the dim lighting. He looked to be in his early 20s, with sharp features and an air of guardedness. Nate's heart raced. Could this really be Damien? "Are you Damien?" Amy asked, her voice soft but steady. The man blinked, his expression unreadable. "Who's asking?" "I'm Nate," he said, stepping forward. "If you were Damien, I think I might be your brother." The man's brows furrowed. "Brother, I don't know what you're talking about." Amy interjected, her tone warm and persuasive. "We're just trying to piece things together. Nate's been searching for family, and your name came up. If this is a misunderstanding, we'll leave you alone." The man hesitated, glancing between them, before finally stepping back to let them in. A deal or a trap? Inside the small apartment, Nate tried to make sense of the situation. The man seemed genuine, but there was a guardedness in his demeanor that Nate couldn't ignore. "I don't know anything about having a brother," the man said finally, sitting down on the edge of a worn-out couch. "But if you're telling the truth, I guess we can talk." Amy leaned forward, her smile encouraging. "Thank you. This means a lot to Nate." But as the conversation continued, Nate's doubts began to grow. The man was evasive, reluctant to share personal details. When Nate offered to take a DNA test to confirm their connection, the man deflected, saying he needed time to think. The warning. That night, back at the motel, Nate sat alone with his thoughts. Amy had gone to bed, but her excitement about the day lingered in the air. Nate, however, couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. He replayed the conversation with the man, Damien, in his head, trying to make sense of it. And then there was Audra's warning, Amy's not who she says she is. This whole thing could be a setup. Was it possible? Could Amy have orchestrated this entire search, planting the idea of Damien and feeding him false leads, all to manipulate him? For what? Money? Influence? Nate didn't want to believe it, but the pieces were starting to fit. The man in the apartment hadn't seemed surprised or confused. He had seemed prepared. And Amy's insistence on pushing forward, even when things didn't add up, now felt like more than just enthusiasm. The rest of the story can be broken down further as needed. Let me know if you'd like me to continue or adjust specific sections. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, December 20 tease that while he is mourning, Daniel Romalotti tries to remain a support for his grieving daughter Lucy Romalotti. Daniel and Lucy have been through a lot, much of it at the hands of Sharon Newman. However, she is not a killer, but it will just take a hot minute before the town realizes this. Until then, it's a safe bet that father and daughter will continue to blame Sharon for all the heck going down in their lives. Spoiler alert: Daniel receives epic Heather news in the near future. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Nick concerned for Sharon. Meanwhile, Nick Newman has more concerns after Sharon's second latest hypnosis session. He realizes that Sharon did not kill Heather Stevens, and that whoever did could target Sharon next. In case you missed it, Sharon remembered that someone else is responsible for Phyllis Summers' accident, so Nick has a lot to worry about since someone has already successfully slipped Sharon some PCP. My and our spoilers. Ian and Jordan plot and connive. Elsewhere, Ian Ward reminds his partner in crime Jordan that she still has a job to do, eliminating Sharon. Ian and Jordan know the net is closing in on their nefarious activity, and Ian wants to nip the threat in the bud. For someone so canny and methodical, it seems as if he could have accomplished this feat far sooner, yes. After giving Jordan her instructions, Ian gets busy on the next phase of his plan, targeting Tessa Porter. The Young and the Restless spoilers. What happens next on the CBS Sudser? Tessa's partner Maria Copeland was forced to marry Ian at one point, but she herself has never met him. So it will be child's play for him to trick Tessa, which he sets about doing on Friday's episode. Tessa is a kind-hearted individual, so do you think that Ian will fake needing help, or will he simply present himself as a charming, talkative stranger? Tell us what you think, Lie and our fans. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that many fans have been riled up on social media about Victoria Newman and her lack of direction lately. This fierce Newman has lost her spark, so we'd like to see Victoria get it back. What Victoria really needs is a new storyline since she doesn't have much of one at the moment. Victoria spends most of her days worrying about Claire Newman or singing Claire's praises. In fact, Victoria's whole life has revolved around Claire from the moment her long-lost daughter re-entered it. We get why Victoria would fight hard to bond with Claire, especially after everything Claire went through being raised by manipulative Jordan. It was important for Claire to feel like she had a real support system, particularly when it came to her mother. We also get why Victoria would want to make up for lost time with Claire since they missed out on so many years together. That said, Claire is an adult who's trying to live her own life now. Victoria needs to live her own life as well, so it feels like the right time to give her something else to do. Of course, Victoria is currently involved in a romance with Cole Howard, J. Eddie Peck. But that isn't doing her character any favors either. We're not seeing a lot of movement in that relationship, so maybe Victoria could use a different love interest instead. There'd be some hot drama if Victoria cheated on Cole or broke up with him to pursue someone else. That could cause a rift with Claire, since it had derailed a perfect little life she's so enamored with. If Y&R wanted to take a different route, maybe Victoria could undergo a career shakeup. At the very least, Victoria deserves a chance to play the hero when all the Jordan and Ian Ward turmoil blows up. Bottom line, we're eager to see Victoria do more than fret over Claire's every move. It's made Victoria's character a bore, but there's still time to turn things around, especially as we head into the new year. Our predictions point to multiple characters getting fresh directions in 2025, so maybe some Victoria updates are on the way. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Victoria could definitely use an overhaul, so we'll bring you more news on what's ahead for her in the coming months. Is where you want to be for fantastic Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, news, and updates, so make us your favorite Wooly and our hotspot. Young and Restless had fans riled up this week, and not in the good way. Keep reading to find out why they were feeling exhausted rather than excited. The boring and the overpropped. I'm just gonna say it. This past week, there were some dreadfully boring episodes, or portions of episodes, featuring talk, and more talk, and dry talk at that. I wondered if it was just me thinking that way, but quickly discovered that I wasn't alone. Legions of fans were complaining and, worse, fast-forwarding. Young and Restless has a significant issue on its hands here. For those not in the loop, this is referring to the scenes featuring a lot of Billy and Kyle complaining, and a metric ton of discussion involving and/ or about Claire. More on that later. Here's a sampling of posts on the matter. Circling back to the Claire problem, not only is the character being pushed to an astounding degree, but she's not even a realistic character. As I've complained many times, there's no way a person raised as she was would be so free of issues. As others have lamented, she's also being written like a teenage girl, which would be fine except they want us to believe that this is the person that the thrice-married Kyle Abbott is dating. There have been way too many conversations about her new job, her doubts, her reflections about Harrison, the minuete of her life. It's boring. That said, she remarked that her life is perfect and she loves it, which is a sure sign that it's all about to collapse around her. I can't wait because we certainly can't go on like this much longer. Here's what Young and Restless viewers had to say. Don't look now, but there's a hole in your story. The Sharon/Heather/Ian/Jordan stuff is bringing pretty much the only drama, but even it has become frustrating. We finally got an explanation for Sharon's behavior, but we still have questions, such as, anyway, now that we know that Ian and Jordan are behind it all, and Sharon is starting to recover her memories, it should all be over soon, right? Wrong. We were promised lots of twists and turns in this plot, so it's not likely to be as straightforward as Sharon remembering that she saw Jordan in the apartment. It's a sure bet that Ian and Jordan will wreak a whole lot more havoc before they're caught. I wouldn't be surprised if they make an attempt on Sharon's life. Can you believe they're getting romantically involved now? Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments. Odds and ends. I felt stirrings of emotion when Jack got misty-eyed over Dina, but I also feel like they're trotting out the flashbacks quite regularly to make viewers feel something. It's worth noting that the new material is not evoking the same response. I'm looking forward to meeting Nate's brother Damien. I hope he's a real pot stirrer. Billy plotting revenge on Victor this week just felt so incredibly tired. How is he not exhausted just living in his own skin? We've watched variations on the same plot for years with this character. I might actually be up for his revenge scheme if I thought he and Phyllis had a snowball's chance in hell of besting Victor. That would be something different at least. The opinions expressed are my own. Please feel free to join the conversation about this week's Young and Restless in the comments. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates tease Sally Spectra is gradually allowing herself to be vulnerable with Billy Abbott, but could this be a misstep? While it's evident that Billy is drawn to Sally and has a knack for charming her, it raises the question, are they truly compatible for the long haul? The Young and the Restless spoilers, Billy Abbott's desire for revenge is strong. Billy's obsession with getting back at Victor Newman appears to overshadow all other aspects of his life at the moment. Once an idea like this takes root in his mind, it often becomes all-consuming. As a consequence, Billy might neglect Sally's needs in the weeks or months ahead. If he's not cautious, his self-centered motives could jeopardize his relationship with Sally. This concern is heightened if his friendship with Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, starts to blur the lines into something more romantic again. And our spoilers. Phyllis Summers and Billy Abbott could surrender to temptation again. It's happened before. Phyllis and Billy might eventually give in to temptation, which opens up several avenues for Billy to disappoint Sally. Should that occur, it could pave the way for Sally to develop feelings for someone new, presenting her with an unexpected romantic opportunity. There are several intriguing scenarios that could steer Sally in a completely different direction. For instance, if Audra Charles and Nate Hastings encounter some challenges, it's possible that Sally could find herself romantically linked with Nate next. This twist could transform the dynamic between Audra and Sally from friendship to rivalry in no time. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Nate Hastings got a half-brother coming to town. Nate's half-brother, Damien, could also be a potential love interest for Sally. It sounds like when he does get to Genoa City, he might stay around. There's been some buzz about a possible relationship between Damien and Lily Winters, but nothing is confirmed yet, and besides, they'd be like family. Meanwhile, fans can't overlook Daniel Romalotti Jr., who will eventually need someone to help him move forward if he and Lily don't reconcile. Currently, Daniel is dealing with the loss of Heather Stevens, but a new romance will come for him in time. Could Sally be the one to fill that role? Only time will reveal the answer. Our predictions suggest that Billy might let Sally down, prompting her to seek affection elsewhere.